Should I have like maybe explained what the kanji kente is? Okay, my god, I already filmed this video one time and it was like an hour and a half long, so I don't know what to do. This might be like long as well, but I wanted to talk about the kanji kente, which I took yesterday. But I'm gonna like just talk really quick about it because holy shit. I tried to talk about like, I have like 20 books about it, so I think I did like a book tour of all my kanji kente books and it took fucking forever, so anyway. You didn't even need to know that. I don't know why. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about how I took the kanji kente. I took it yesterday, and I think I passed. Like I tried. They give you the sheet to take home with all the questions on it. So I passed barely. Like the passing mark is 160. I got 163. I don't know why it's so bright. I don't know if I can I focus on this thing? No. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go through what the textbooks I did in order to pass. Oh, okay. Less white now, thanks. I filmed the video in Japanese and I think I take so long in Japanese to talk, like I over-explain everything. Now it's too dark. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through all the textbooks I did in order. This was the first one. So there's like this section at the start that has like it just goes through all the kanji and says their readings and like gives examples of words for them. So I put all of those into Anki. Then they have like the start. I didn't want to like fill in the workbook part because I was like, oh no, I don't really know anything yet. I should wait until I learn all the words and then I'll go back and do the workbook. That was kind of stupid. So they have all these like writing exercises and stuff. So I put all the full question in Anki and then like never did any of them. So anyway, so that's what I did with this book. I didn't actually solve any of it, but I put all of the words, the vocab from it into Anki, and I learnt that. And this is the official book. It's meant to be like an introductory, like basic knowledge type book, so that was like a good foundation. Except they don't have like the 4 character compounds or the yojijuku, so I would like it was good for learning the words, but I would pick one that has the yojijuku in it as well and not just the words. I don't really know why they did this format of having the kanji like this. I guess so you can learn on readings, but they should, most of them just have like an appendix in the back that lists like this. They literally just list all the readings there. So there's no point to the formatting of this book anyway. So that's the official version, so I did that. Then after that, like when I was kind of halfway through the introductory part of this, I started doing practice tests. So I did like the first couple of practice tests from this one, and I did not get passing score. I got like 50%, and the passing score is 80%. So I really didn't like the format of this. I prefer the ones where you can write in it. So I just did 3 and then gave up. I haven't like the highest I got was like 104 points, I think. I think I got like 70, 80, and 100. So I was doing pretty badly, and I just gave up on that book. But I mean, it's like 15 past tests, so it's good. It's fine. It's the official one. Then I had this, which is like a mini book. I solved like half of it. Yeah, I solved up to there. But I gave up halfway because the sections that are like, from this book I learned all the readings and the writings, but then I didn't learn any of there's a bunch of other sections that I didn't really, I thought I would just learn them by increasing my vocab size by using this book, but then I started solving them and then it turns out like the vocab for each section is completely different. So I needed to like do separate strategies for each section. So anyway, I stopped solving that because I was like, oh, I'll come back once I've done an actual strategy for those sections. Yeah, then I didn't really come back to it, but it was kind of useful because they're like these little pocket books are done in frequency order. So this is like the 3-star section. So it's like all the most frequent ones, and then there's the 2-star section. So if you just solve it in order and then you learn, oh, these are the questions that come up frequently, so that was fine. This book I just bought like randomly because it was cheap. I hadn't really been like writing in any of the books yet because I was afraid that I was like, oh, I want to go back and reuse them. I want to like use them once I actually know the answers to questions, but I think that's a stupid strategy now looking back on it, because I started solving this and it was better revision than like waiting until I already knew everything to solve the questions. I just started solving this because it's so low stakes, right? I was just like, oh, well, it's just a random one I bought. It's not one of the ones that I like, so I'll just fill it in. And then, so that was good. I got like better scores than I expected, and then realized I had no idea what I was doing for the sections that weren't yojijukugo, yomi, or kaki. So yeah, it was good. This is like the most easy frequent words book. Like it's quite small, So just having done this, I was like if you can do this, you know you can do all the most frequent words. It was like a good introduction, and I could kind of tell what my weak points were. And then they had like 2 practice exams in the back, which I also did. The thing with the practice exams in these books is like they want you to be under the impression that the book was good preparation, so they just put there's only like questions from this book in the practice test. So it's not like really a practice test, it's just like a test on what you learned in the book. But so I finished this whole book. I wouldn't recommend it. It's just like a bunch of questions. It's fine, like buy it if you want, but there's nothing like that special about it. Okay, then next I started solving this one. This one is probably my favorite one. I don't think I finished it. There's like 3 frequency sections. I did the first 2. So the thing that was good about this one, what I originally used it for was they also have like a separate book in them. I used it for the Yojijukugo. So right here, like they list the Yojijukugo and then the meaning under it. So to like in order to mass add them to Anki, this was the best book for that. And it was in frequency order, which is great. So I added them to Anki in frequency order and then just started doing like 20 a day on Anki. Yeah, and then I solved... There's kind of no point, like there's no point to solving the Yojijukugo unless you've done, like, memorize them. So there's like a couple sections I haven't solved because it's like, well, why solve the Yojijukugo for the ones you haven't learnt yet? So I solved all the writing and reading, but I didn't solve the sections that I hadn't done the memorization for yet. But this was like the best book, I mean, because all the answers are in red as opposed to this one, they were like all at a different section at the back, which is kind of annoying to flip through, whereas this one, where's the red sheet? Okay. So say I'm like, I would just be on the train, just like cover them, do them in my head and do it like that. Can't really see. Like that. And like, you don't even need to look at the questions, like it just shows like the antonyms, synonyms and antonyms, they come in like pairs, so you should just like memorize them as a pair, so you don't even need to look at the question or solve the question. It's good to just, that's what I would do. I would just cover it like this and just only learn from this bottom section. So, and then once I'd done that, try and solve the questions. This was like the best book in my opinion to like as an introduction. And the other thing about it is that the radicals, like every other book, the radicals aren't in red, so you can't, like, you have to cover them manually like this instead of using the red sheet. And it's like, why did you include the red sheet if you aren't going to make the part that you have to memorize even in red? So this one, they actually had the radicals in red, which is good. Except they didn't do radicals on the test this year, so which I was not informed of. So I learnt the radicals for nothing. But if there were radicals on the test, then that would have been good. But so I didn't do it. Okay, these are practice tests. There's 5 of them. This is like an official version, so I think these are real tests from 2020 and 2021, and it's like the actual size practice, what? The actual size that the tests are in. This is not the one that I filled in. Yeah. I actually bought 2 because I filled this one in and then I went to like a bunch of secondhand bookstores, but I couldn't find previous year versions of these, so I just bought the same one again. I solved all of these. Can you see that I've written on it? Maybe not. I filled those in, so that's 5 practice tests. Should I have like maybe explained what the kanji kente is? I don't know. I don't think anyone who doesn't know what it is would watch this, but whatever. So I have 2 of those. I solved 1 of this and 5 of these. And then there's this, these are official. There's this official book as well, which is like an introduction to practice tests. I'd already solved these other practice tests when I started doing this. I also like this one because it's like the full size and you can write in it. I did finish this one. It starts with like a half-size test, so the full test is 200 points, and it starts from 100 points, and it has 3 of those. 4 of those maybe, and then it does 150, and then it does 200. So the idea is like you slowly work up to doing a full test, but I did like 4 of these a day. It has this cool section where you can put in all the scores you got. Probably not visible. Yeah, I like added up all the averages and stuff, and I got a passing mark average for everything except for the error correction section. So I got the lowest score I got for anything other than error correction was 83, and then the error correction score was 55. So I don't know what it is about that section. That's like the hardest one for me. I think it's you have to say which word is wrong, and in order to know whether a word is wrong or not, you have to know if that word exists. Like, how do I know what words don't exist if I don't speak Japanese? Like, if I don't already know thousands of words type thing, like like every word that is in this, in the error correction, is designed to look like a word that could exist. So it's got two kind of kanji, like I can put on the screen, like there's tetsu and tetsu. This is like one of the most frequent ones. And one of them means like through, and the other one means I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the meanings are. So there's like kantetsu means like to complete, and then tekkai means to withdraw. So there's like these two tetsu and they look alike. Like if you have the one that means through and then the one that means kai, like that sounds like a word. Being like returning the full way of some, you know, like they all seem like they could be a word. So how are you meant to know? The only way to know is to have learned all of those words ahead of time, but it's only 10 marks. So, and yeah, that's the other thing, is that the vocab required for each section is different. So the synonyms and antonyms section, like sometimes there's a little bit of crossover, but like you had to learn a whole new set of vocab for that compared to the yomi and the kaki. I mean, the yomi and kaki, like maybe there's like 10% or 20% overlap, but even then it's like there's words that always come up on writing and words that always come up on reading. I don't know why, like, they would be different. Yeah, I guess I just didn't spend enough time learning the specific vocab for the error correction one because it's only 10 marks. Oh yeah, I didn't show my notebooks. So this is like, I used this notebook to collect all the words that I made, like I got wrong in the workbook. And then I wrote like the kanji, the reading, and the English meaning. And this one's not folded, I'll show you a folded one. So here's the kanji, so I just folded over, and I did the writing. I didn't do the meaning because if you know the writing, you kind of know the meaning. That's what I did. I didn't finish this notebook, but about that many words. Probably like a couple hundred. I think I learned maybe 2,000 words. But it's not really learning them because I already know the kanji, so it's just like yeah, it makes sense that that word would exist. Like you can just kind of guess it. So a lot of them weren't that hard, but some of them were. 1 in 10 of them will have a weird reading, and then those are the ones that, so I like marked off the ones that I got wrong. The rest of them are kind of, you see them one time and it's like, oh yeah, well, that kanji looks like it would be read this way, and based on the kanji meanings it probably means this, and then you've learnt it. So yeah, that's kind of, I didn't spend too much time on that, to be honest. I just like solved as many questions as I could to get an idea of the frequent ones. What else can I say? What I'm gonna do now, so I think I've passed this time. My checking it was correct. So I'm gonna aim for as close to full marks on the second one as possible. The test that I just took, it had a bunch of words that didn't appear in the workbooks, which makes a lot of sense because I think the workbooks are based on past exams. Oh my god. A question that has appeared on a past exam will appear in the workbook. So if you've done the workbook, you can solve all the past exams. So I feel like having solved workbooks and then doing past exams gave me like a false idea of, oh, I'm gonna get 90% because I like learnt all the words that appeared on those tests. But I think every new test they try and add words that haven't appeared before. So in order to get full points, I think you'd have to cover, like there's a official dictionary with all of the words that can possibly appear on level 2 tests. So I think I'll have to like find a list of all the words that appear in that dictionary and then study that if I want full points. So we'll see if I have. So I'm gonna aim for full points on the next test, and then after that, I don't know if I'll start it straight away, but my next goal, not goal, but like the next thing I'm gonna do is start studying for the level 1 10 years down the line type level of difficulty. But I've always wanted to do that, and the only reason I did level 2 was because I just wanted to like see if it was possible, because level 2 tests all the Joyo ones, which is the same content as N1. Having passed, well, you know, I haven't passed it yet, but knowing that I can pass this test and hopefully I'll get close to full points at least, is like proof that okay, I finished all the ones that is like the high school level and below. I feel like that's a good base. I've done those, then I can move on to the hard ones. That's kind of why I did it, to be like to prove that okay, I've met this standard. And then there is like a 1.5 level before level 1. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I think it's a waste of time because like with this one, so much of this test is not just knowing the vocab, it's knowing like which of the vocab always shows up. So there's like at least 50% of the test is words that have shown up before. Like there's certain words that come up every single time, like the one that I said for the error correction, like the Tetsu one, that's always there. I'd say like 90% of the tests have that as one of the goji teisei. So like studying for the 1.5 test would just be a big exercise in learning all of those frequencies. Just to move on to another test, we have to relearn them. So I'd rather, I mean, I'd have to learn, yeah, like to do both is to learn the same amount of kanji. Like you end up learning 6,000 kanji in total, 4,000 extra kanji, plus the 2 sets of frequencies of what happens on the test. Whereas if you just study for the number 1, then you're still studying the 4,000 kanji, but then you only have to learn 1 set of frequencies of like how the test operates. So it wouldn't save me that much time. Just in terms of like, I don't want to buy a whole new set of, like I don't need 2 sets of workbooks for both of them. Except I don't know if like the 1.5 level ones appear on the 1 test. The strategy, like the main strategy for the first test, the level 1 test, is to just memorize the official dictionary for it. I think if I've done that, then I will have covered all of the 1.5 level content enough to not need to officially study that in order to do the level 1. Anyway, this is like, we're talking like 5 years at least of studying, so it's kind of pointless to start talking about it now. I'm just gonna focus on finishing all of the books that I have now so that I can like say that, yeah, I know all of the Joyo kanji and I can move on. That's the goal.